Hello my dear friends, very nice to meet you. Welcome to today's session. In this session we are going to continue the grammar rules that we have to study throughout module 6. Now it's time to study unit 6b, grammar part. Let's see what we have today. We're going to deal with conditionals. Let's see what conditionals are. Conditionals are sentences that show hypothetical situations and their expected results. Hypothetical means something like imaginary, not real. Something hasn't really happened. There are 4 types of conditionals: zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional, and third conditional. Let's see what we have among these types of conditionals. Type 1, the first conditional. The form of the sentences is if plus a sentence in the present simple tense, and this part is called the if clause. Then the other sentence or the main clause of the conditional, the subject plus will, can or may, plus the infinitive form of the verb that shows the expected result. We use this form to show possible situations and possible results in the future. I want you to focus on the time of the real situation. The real situation is going to happen or expected to happen in the future. We do not care about, we do not relate the time of the real situation to these tenses. So as you see here, the result comes in the future simple tense. For example, if you study hard, you will pass the exam, or you can pass the exam, you may pass the exam. As you see here, this situation can happen in the future. The result is possible to happen in the future if this condition is fulfilled. If the one I'm talking to studies hard, he or she will pass the exam. This is why I expect. The exam hasn't been taken yet. It's a hypothetical situation. I imagine what will happen if the person I'm talking to studies hard. To negate, or for the negative form of a conditional, we use unless instead of if, but with a positive form or an affirmative form. Do not use unless with any negative sentence, because unless means if not. So it's negated, or it refers to negation. Unless you study hard, you won't pass the exam. So here I have used these modal verbs will, can, may in the negative form, because this is required to give a correct meaning. So for the first sentence, when we use unless, I mean the if clause, when we use unless, we follow it with a positive sentence. The other side of the conditional or the main clause comes depending on the meaning, the intended meaning. This is type 1, or conditional 1, or the first conditional. Let's move to the next type, or conditional type 2, the second conditional. The if clause consists of if plus a sentence in the past simple, the main clause, subject, would, could, might, plus the infinitive form of the verb that shows the result. We use this type, or the second conditional, to show unreal situations or unreal results in the present. Unreal here means that the opposite of what we say is that what really happened. We can use it also to give advice. If you studied hard, you would pass the exam. Now I'm talking to someone who already failed the exam, so I am some kind of blaming him or her. If you studied hard, you would pass the exam. What is the real situation? He or she, the one I'm talking to, didn't pass the exam. So we imagine the opposite of this situation. we form this kind of condition. The negative form, unless you studied hard, you wouldn't pass the exam. So when I say such statement to someone, that means that the real situation is that he or she, the one I'm talking to, studied hard and already passed the exam. So I'm imagining the opposite of what really happened, of what the real action, the real situation is. The second example, I have put on some weight recently. What should I do? This is someone asks for advice, so I can use this form. If I were you, I would follow a healthy diet. Look here, I said I were, and this is unlike what we are used to. We use I was, we use verb to be as was with singular pronouns, but this is an exception here. We can use were with all the pronouns in the second conditional or conditional type too. Let's move to the third conditional. Here is the third conditional. The if clause consists of if in past perfect, had plus PP form. Then the main clause, subject, would, could, might, plus have, could have, might have, would have. And then the main verb comes in the PP form. We use this form to express unreal situations or results in the past. So, what really happened is the opposite of what we say. If I had driven carefully, I wouldn't have crashed into the tree. So what really happened in the past is that the person who says this statement didn't drive carefully and crashed into the tree. And here is the negative form again. Unless I had driven carefully, I would have crashed into the tree. Unreal situations or results mean the opposite. If that means the opposite, that means that the opposite of what is what really happened. Okay, let's see what we have next. Another topic. It's a little bit similar to what we have just studied, conditionals, which is wishes. To wish means that you hope that a situation or something is different from what it really is or was different. You want to change something, maybe in the past, in the present, or in the future. Present wishes are formed of this expression, I wish, or you can replace it with if only. Both are correct. When we express present wishes, we use the sentence in the past simple. Look here. Oh, someone is angry. I lost the race at the last moment. What is the real situation now? Someone who has lost the race. So he says, I wish I won the race. You can use that or remove it. I wish I won the race. The real situation now is that I didn't win the race. Past wishes, if only, or I wish, plus past perfect. I missed the chance to meet my old friends at the party yesterday. This is the time. The real situation was yesterday. So someone here says, I wish I had gone to the party. What really happened is that I didn't go to the party and I didn't meet my friends. Lastly, future wishes. If you wish to change something in the future, you can use this form, I wish, or if only, plus the subject, would, plus infinitive. You're always late. I wish you would come early when tomorrow. I'm talking about changing something in the future. These are the two topics that we have in Unit 6B. Let's practice. Here is the first question. Write the following sentence. Number one, Mr. Brad is rich. He can buy a big house. So as you see here, the real situation of Mr. Brad is that he is rich. This is a present situation, so we can use the second conditional and look at what I'm going to do. This is the answer. If Mr. Brad wasn't rich, he couldn't buy a big house. As you see here, I changed the form of this sentence into the past simple, and it turned it into a negative sentence, wasn't instead of is. Again here, he can buy a big house. I changed it into the negative form in the past simple because we imagine the opposite of the real situation. That's why we changed the sentence form from positive to negative and vice versa. Number two, the same way. Carla is tall. She plays basketball. Again, this is a present situation, so let's use the second conditional. We will change this sentence from being affirmative or positive into negative, and we'll do the same here. And here is the answer. If Carla wasn't tall, she wouldn't play basketball. Now, number three, if you eat a lot, you will be fat, and we are asked to use what to form a question. When we have a conditional and we are asked to form a question based on this conditional, we always ask about the main clause or the result. Here, I'm going to ask about this sentence. So here is the question. What will happen if you eat a lot? We can get if plus the if clause at the middle or at the end of the conditional. It's not necessary to start with if every time. Do not shout in the class or the teacher will punish you. Look at this situation. Here, the teacher will punish you shows a future result. We expect that the teacher will punish the one who shouts inside the classroom. So, as the result is likely or possible to happen in the future, we will use the first conditional in this way. The teacher will punish you if you shout in the class. I didn't go to school because I was sick. Look at this. This situation happened in the past, so this is a past situation. Of course, here we have to use the third conditional, and here we will change this form, this sentence, I didn't go to school. When we use it in the third conditional, we will change it from being negative into a positive sentence in this way. If I hadn't been sick, this sentence was affirmative or positive. I changed it into the past perfect because this is the condition, and it turned it into a negative sentence. If I hadn't been sick, I would have gone to school. I don't have time to go to the club. This is a present situation. So let's use the second conditional in the same way. So the answer is going to be, I'd go to the club if I had time. The second conditional, if plus past simple, this is the if clause, and the main clause would plus an infinitive form of the main verb. I didn't go to the party because Alan didn't invite me. So, what is the time of the situation? Of course, it's a past situation. That's why I used the third conditional. It's rainy. I don't have an umbrella. We are asked to use wish. To make a wish here, look at this situation. It's a present one. So we have to change this sentence into the past simple in this way. It's rainy. I wish I had an umbrella. And I have changed it from being negative into positive. Sarah would be sick if she didn't wear a coat. A second conditional statement, we're asked to use wouldn't instead of would. That means we are gonna change the main clause or the result into negative. Let's see how it's gonna be like. It's gonna be like this. Sarah wouldn't be sick if she wore a coat. We have changed the meaning. If Ahmed had studied, will he space? We are asked to complete. This is the if clause, and this is a sentence in the past perfect. That means this is the third conditional. So we are asked to continue the other side of the third conditional, or the main clause of the third conditional, which is formed of subject, which is he, then would have plus PP. Ahmed had studied well. If Ahmed had studied well, he would have passed the exam. Here we've come to the end of this session. Thanks a lot. I hope you enjoy it. See you next time, inshallah. Goodbye.